All right, all right, all right. Coming at you with another quick edification. So let's go ahead and start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Waha, Rakwa, Rakah, Kwadash, and double honors to the elder apostles, the prophets, and the teachers at GMS that have been so generous to bring us this 100% truth for the last 30 plus years. Also to the disciples, the sincere Akyah and Akwath, salutations. Be patient. The times are getting, it's getting close. Let's just say that. It's getting close to that time. I might have to adjust my camera because I'm over here in the corner. More in the corner. No, I'll be fine. All right. Let's just get right into it. We were teaching a class yesterday on Saturday, Leon. The brother Tazima had to go, so he had to get his kids from the babysitter, and plus our phones were dying at the same time. My phone only had 39% when I started the class, so when we stopped it so abruptly, I had 1% left on my phone, so we were able to get it. But also, Tazima had to go get his kids, so I feel like we kind of rushed the class yesterday, and most high willing, it was still edifying. No fault of our own, we're just out there sincerely trying to bring out this truth like always. So, with that being said, I want to bring out some more precepts of what I was teaching or sharing the notes on from yesterday. So let's do that. Let me get some light in here. I got to get a little more light so I can see better. You know what? I can't see that here, so I'll do that. That's really nice. Really nice. There we go. Okay. So, and we were also, my mind went blank also when we were talking about the daily sacrifice. Now that was during the time of Antiochus, and what they really did is they took away we would sacrifice 2 lambs a day for the daily sacrifice for the sin offering. And what they did was they replaced it with a pagan sacrifice, a pagan altar. They put a statue in the temple. So they really just stopped everything. And that's what I was talking about. And that goes into the whole 70 AD. So what we're going to do is get back into where we, pretty much where we left off yesterday. I'm going to go back to Daniel 8, and we're going to read 25 again, and we're going to start there. Yeah, let's go to Daniel 8 and 25. I also got to get this. Dang it, I got notes right now, and I just found this thing right now. I'm trying to go to Daniel 8 and 25, but my tablet's sitting on 1 Thessalonians, and I want to read this to you because there's been a lot of people say that, like, IUIC will tell you that there's a hell doctrine, and if you don't do this and that, you're going to burn in hell. Well, see, the thing is we've always taught that all Israel shall be saved. So before I go into the rest of this lesson, I just got to get this one. I'm going to bring out one verse. It kind of just smashes the whole idea of there being a separation. Those 2/3 will die the horrific death on this side, very painful. But all Israel shall be saved in the end. So you will eventually be in the kingdom. So here it is. I want you guys to listen carefully to this. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. And this is verse 10. You know what? Let's start at 9. For Yahweh, this is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 9. I'm just going to bring this out real quick and then go back to the class from yesterday. But for Yahweh hath not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach. Now listen, this is the point. Who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep. So to wake up, what does that mean? It means to come back to the covenant, to come back to the laws to the best of your ability according to your knowledge. No one can actually keep these laws 100%, and Yahushua was the only one that actually did that. So whether we be awake, coming back to the truth, or sleep. The people that don't, the 2/3, the wicked 2/3. So let's read it in its entirety. Wherefore, who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep, we should live together with him. Whether we're awake in the truth or whether we're asleep on this truth, we're all going to live together with Yahweh Hashem, Yahushua. So all Israel shall be saved. That simple. So let's go back into the lesson from yesterday. Like I said, we're going to go to Daniel's, the book of Daniel's. I don't know how many there are now. It's a plural, I guess. The book of Daniel, chapter 8, and we're going to start at 25 and pick up from yesterday. So what we were talking about, you know what, we're going to have to start at verse 23, I'm pretty sure. And in the latter time of the kingdom, this is Daniel chapter 8 and verse 23. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when transgressors are come to a full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up. So we're in that time right now. We've got pronouns. I couldn't even think of that word yesterday, man. My mind was just playing tricks on me. So we've got the pronouns, right? So what do you mean the pronouns? Well, their transgression has come to a full. You can't call somebody a woman or a man anymore. You have to let them tell you what they are. Because there's, according to the Rainbow Mafia, there's like, 50, 60 different genders. I don't understand how that's even possible. Either you're an innie or an outie. But that's one of many transgressions. Also, we've been put in oppression for so long that we have Stockholm Syndrome. You got half of Israel, I'd say 2/3, more than half. 2/3 of Israel out worshiping Cesare Borgia, the Caucasian, who has been depicted as Yahushua, which is a melanated person. Yahushua was a melanated person. I hate to use the words white and black, just like in the class yesterday. I told you, white means to be righteous, red means to be destroyed, and black means to be evil. So if you have a white mind, if your heart is white, or your brain, you're a righteous thinker. If you're red, your brain is destroyed. Your thoughts are destroyed. And if you're black, I don't like to use this word, you're evil. You're destitute of life. So your thoughts are evil, your thoughts are destroyed, or your thoughts are righteous. There was never a color in the Bible. So it's beautiful though. It's beautiful. So let me go ahead and read it again. The transgressors are come to a full, and a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up. So, like I said, there's all types of transgression that's going on in the world right now, to the point where, how can you even say it? Any possible thing that you can think of that goes against the Levitical law, it's being done at this time. Let's move on from that. Let's go to verse 24. And his power shall be mighty. And we all know that power was given to him. And how do I know? Let's read the rest of the sentence. But not by his own power. And his power shall be mighty, and not by his own power. He shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper, and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. So the mighty people and the holy people. So that just confirms Job 9 and 24, that the earth was given into the hands of the wicked, and they covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not him, then who is he? And you know what's funny about that, covering the faces of the judges? That was part of the transgression coming to a full. Like I say, you guys have this Caucasian that you're worshiping, 2/3 of Israel, worshiping a Caucasian, not wanting to know the truth. You love your pagan worship. That's why you cleave to flatteries. You cleave to flatteries. In other words, you cleave to the liars. You love the lie and you hate the truth. And that goes into Isaiah. And we got to get this every time. It's Isaiah 30, and I like to start at verse 8. So let's go ahead and get that. Isaiah chapter 30. We're going to start, like I said, at verse 8. And what does it say? Now go, write it before them in a table, and note it in a book, that they may be for the time to come forever and ever. So he's prophesying a time that's going to come where it confirms that the transgression has come to a full. Now listen carefully. This is verse 9. That this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of Yahweh. So you guys have forbeared. You're forbearers of the law. You reject it. That's why you can't hear it. You don't want to hear it. You are in full rejection of what the law says. Which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. So you've completely rejected the truth. I mean, there's nothing else to really say about it. You're just in complete rejection of the truth. And let me read verse 10. Let me read verse 11. Go you out of the way. Turn aside out of the path. Cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. Verse 12. Wherefore, now here's the consequences, because it says transgressions come to a full. So this prophecy is also going to have a consequence. So let's read it. Wherefore, thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because you despise the word, that's this truth, and you trust in oppression and perverseness and stay thereon. You trust in the worldliness. That's that perverseness and oppression. You love a carnal, fleshly life. That's why you're telling us, don't tell us any of the truth. Lie to us, please. We just want to hear the lie. We want to feel good. Now, verse 13, here's the point. It's taking us back to when transgressions come to a full. What's going to happen? Therefore, this iniquity shall be to you as a breach, ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant. He's going to break you off in an instant. And you guys are sitting here laughing and joking, talking about, tell me something that makes me feel good. That is funny. So, it's funny to me because he's going to destroy you. He's going to prosper. He's going to practice and to destroy the mighty and the holy people. And what do you guys do? You guys hate the truth. You guys go against the word of Yahweh. And this is funny because we're talking about flatteries, which is like when somebody bribes you. Like Biden wanted everybody to vote for him, so what did Biden say? He said, vote for me, I'm going to give you a stimulus check. So he bribed the people by paying them for his vote. That's a flattery. Okay, so let's move on though. Let's keep going and read verse 25 in the book of Daniel. That's chapter 8 and verse 25. And through his policy he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. So it's very interesting with the flatteries or the bribery that they use. So he says right here that through his policy he shall cause craft to prosper. So when you got that stimulus check, remember what happened? They raised the price. We got a check that was like maybe $1,000. And what did they do? They raised the price on everything by 3 to 4 times the amount. So he made a policy to give us a check, but really he was setting us up, right? He caused Kraft to prosper because now we're paying 3 times as much for everything for a measly $1,000, which most people make that every week or 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? It's not a lot of money, but they try to treat it like, oh, these people are going to retire if we give them $1,000. You know, somebody actually said that, one of the government workers, that they were going, that if we gave them another stimulus check, that people would quit their jobs because they had $1,500 in the bank. People would quit their jobs over $1,000 when you don't even make that. I mean, it takes, like I said, it takes most people a week or two to make that, so it's not like a lot of money. But he lied. So they made these secret hidden policies within the great check of $1,000 they gave you. And as soon as they signed the deal, they gave themselves all kinds of stuff. Took away some of our rights, raised the price on everything by 3 times, and then gave us $1,000. So really, they by peace, he really just destroyed us, financially even. Many people were financially destroyed. So by peace, he shall destroy many. And of course, when he stands up against Yahushua, he's going to be broken without hand. And that is coming next. There's a few more prophecies that have to be fulfilled, but that's coming up next. Let's keep going. Let's stay in the book of Daniel, but let's go over to chapter 11. And let's start at verse 21. And in his estate shall stand up a vile person, to whom they shall not give the honor of the kingdom, but he shall come in peaceably and obtain the kingdom by flatteries. So he comes in, you're not black if you don't vote for Biden, but if you do vote for Biden, I'm giving you a stimulus check. Let's look at that. Let me make sure I'm saying that right. Let's find out right now. What is the biblical definition of flatteries? Yep. Boom. There it is. Flatteries. Something a person will say to your face but will not say behind your back. Smooth and seductiveness. Deceive. Persuade. So to persuade, so how do you persuade somebody? By bribing them. And so going like pursuant to the book of Proverbs 7:21 is a perfect example. She seduced him, but she said stuff out of her mouth with her sweet, seductive talk. But she said, "Come to my house." So she was telling him, "I'm going to bribe you with, I just made the bed. I'm ready. The man of the house ain't going to be home for a while." So she's persuading him. She's seducing him. She's enticing him. She's I think I made I think I made my point with the flatteries. So, and in his estate shall stand up a vile person, whom they shall not give honor of the kingdom, but he shall come in peaceably and obtain the kingdom by flatteries. So he's going to what? He's going to use bribery. He's going to tell you a bunch of things to get you to believe him, but he's not going to follow through with it. So he'll say that stuff to your face, but behind your back, he's not going to say that. In other words, he's not going to do that. So anyway, let's go back to it. And with the arm of, this is verse 22. So we're still in Daniel chapter 11, and we're going to go to verse 22. So we know that this guy to whom they shall not give the honor of the kingdom. You know, that just sounds like our presidential elect right now, Biden. He has no honor. He came in peaceably, and he obtained it with, honestly, I think he cheated, but with flatteries, with bribery. So let's keep going. And with the arms of a flood shall they be overthrown from before him, and he shall be broken, yea, also the prince of the covenant. And after the league made with him, he shall work deceitfully. So, for he shall come up and shall become strong with a small people. He shall enter peaceably, even upon the fattest places of the province, and he shall do that which his fathers have not done, nor his fathers' fathers. He shall scatter among them the prey and spoil and riches. Yea, he shall forecast his devices against the strongholds, even for a time. So I gotta keep going on this, okay? Yeah, we gotta keep going to verse 25. And he shall stir up his power and his courage against the king of the south with a great army. So we're coming into that time right now. We are literally, I can turn on the news and everybody's put the naval forces around the world are all positioning their ships. The Air Force is getting in position. The Army, the Marines, everybody's getting into position to fight. And then you got people already fighting. You got Russia taking their navy into the what is it, the Red Sea or the Dead Sea or whatever they call it, right there where all of that action's going down because the Houthi won't let anybody through that area. And you know what the Houthi said? It's because you're taking all of our resources and you're leaving nothing for us. So that's why they're fighting, because everything is being stolen from them and they're just being left out there to die. So what did they do? They decided to start taking over the ships. So that's all happening right now. Right now, everybody's getting in position to fight. Usually, I don't know if you guys know anything about the solar eclipse, but let's get into that for a second. Every time there was a really big solar eclipse, there was wars. So the one guy was, I put it up in a class that we're going through it, the Korean War, the World War, all of the wars had a solar eclipse right before them. Then you've got, that's beautiful too. You got the planets aligning. You've got a comet that they changed the name of, and now they call it the Devil's Comet. You got all of the Ninevehs, the actual point of where the cross is, that is right where a place in Chicago is called Little Egypt. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. And it's a beautiful thing, because this all goes back to the prophecies being fulfilled, and that king of the south with his great army, and the king of the south shall be stirred up to battle with a very great and mighty army, but he shall not stand, for they shall forecast devices against him. So what are those devices? They're going to shoot nuclear weapons over here, man. We're going to get destroyed. This whole place is going to be destroyed. So we're hoping, this is my hope. I'm going to go over to Revelation real quick, just because we brought up that he's going, those devices, and those devices are the weapons of war. So let's go over to Revelation chapter 11 and read verse 12. Actually, yeah, let's read 12 and 13, because you got to understand something. This is what I'm hoping for, the hopeful here of Jacob's trouble, but I'm hoping that also that things get so bad that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai has to come and get us. So this is what I'm hoping for when they start shooting out these nuclear weapons, which they will do. It is going to happen. But this is the patience and the faith of all the saints. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. Huh? It's time? Finally, I can go home? Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. Okay? There you have it. So that's what we're waiting. That's what we're waiting for. That's what we're waiting for. So, and the same hour, there was a great earthquake. So, right after all of the saints are called up into the kingdom, and well, it's the ones that died in Christ, the 1/3 and the 144,000 that will be called up into the cloud. And after all of the righteous Israelites are safely put away in the cloud, what happens next? The same hour, there was a great earthquake, and a 10th part of the city fell. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000. That's a number of completion, not exactly 7,000. It's saying that everybody was completely destroyed. And the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to Yahweh of heaven. So we're the remnant. We're the ones that were scared. We're the ones giving glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. But we're giving him glory in a safe place. So let me read 14 again. Let me read 14 also. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So I'm hoping that when this third world war starts, that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai calls us up into the cloud before it gets so bad that we'll all surely be destroyed. We'll all surely die. But back to the class. So that's my own personal hope and aspiration right now. I don't want to say aspiration. My encouragement. That's my hope and my encouragement. I'm encouraged to have faith that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is coming to get us soon, and he's gonna put us in a safe place before it gets too hectic. And it actually says that. I just read it. That same hour, all hell broke loose. And it showed you World War, the World War I and II are already past. Now we're coming into that final woe, total and utter destruction. So yes, that is my hope. That's my dream. Let's go back to the book of Daniel. And we're going to go back to chapter 11. And we're going to jump up a little bit. We left off at verse 25. So we're going to jump up a little bit. And we're going to go to verse 32. And so I'm going back into the class now. So Daniel 11 and 32. And such as do wickedly against the covenant shall be corrupt by flatteries. So we're going back into flatteries again. They'll be corrupted by what? Being seduced by bribes. Like when you have a 501c3. Or when you're just making a bunch of money, but literally everything you have in your camp is for sale. So those are flatteries. When you take that 501c3 and you have everything for sale, but you don't really get taxed on it. You get to keep all the money, and you just get to grow like weeds, just all over the place all of a sudden. And I noticed that when somebody gets a 501c3, which is a flattery, it is a bribery, it is designed to entice you. So I noticed that when people take these bribes and they take the 501c3, I had a guy who was doing classes. Now he's not a bad guy, I guess. I don't know. Depends on what he's teaching, right? But He went from like 9 views to like 45,000 views overnight. And has commercials inside of it during his class. So he pulled an IUIC. So I had to, and then one of the brothers at GMS, he's been getting on him too. He said, I'm gonna get on this guy every time I see him. I say, good, because I actually went down to study with them once because I thought they were like GMS. And it turns out they had to agree with me because I wasn't budging from the knowledge that I had. And I didn't realize I was stepping into a place. This is the first time I ever went out and met up with other Israelites. So I thought we were all in that same, that same vibration. And no, man, everybody's vibration is different. People are all believing and thinking and doing different things. So, and such as do wickedly against the covenant shall he corrupt by flatteries. So, these people are easily deceived because they have no faith in Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. It's that simple. That's how you can be flattered. Oh, let me entice this guy. I'll give him some money. I'll tell him he doesn't have to pay taxes. I'll make sure that he has 1 million views so everybody can see that he's got the most views. But they're corrupt. They're destroyed mentally now because they fell for a trap. That is a secret trap. It's a net that traps you up. Because what happens is when you let someone entice you with something, and they keep giving it to you, it's just like a drug dealer. You get addicted to it. And then when they take it away, you're willing to do anything they want to get it back. That's why flatteries will destroy you. So, let me just read it again. And such as do wickedly against the covenant shall he corrupt by flatteries. But the people that do know Yahweh shall be strong and do exploits. And, exploits is a beautiful word too because it literally means great and wonderful deeds. So the people that stay with the covenant, that are strong in this truth. I want to say that because that's how we're reading it. The people that are strong in this truth, that keep that 100% truth, are going to do great and wonderful works for Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. Great and wonderful deeds. And that's beautiful. So let's keep going. Verse 33. And they that understand among the people shall instruct many. So who does that? The Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai puts the spirit on certain men to no matter what be teaching this truth. Whether you're online or not. Now, a lot of the times I can't be online during the week because, like last week, where I worked, I didn't have any reception. I couldn't even call my wife to make sure everything was okay around the house. And then, other weeks I have reception, I'm able to study, but I'm also in a leadership position, so my phone rings all day long. All day. I couldn't do a class at work, and then I work. Oh man. Anyway, so some of us, we just, like I said, to be strong in the truth means that no matter what, you're always meditating on the word, whether you can be online all the time or not. Now, a lot of us, now you guys that can be online all the time and you're not doing it, yeah, I've suffered that too. It's called being lazy. And I have suffered being lazy also. So you got to come off of that too. But going back into it, they that understand among the people shall instruct many. So like I said in the beginning, he's going to put a spirit on certain men to go out and teach this word. Whether you get to be online 3 times, 4 times a week, or 3 or 4 times a day, or if you only get to do 1 or 2 classes a week. But the person that's going to instruct many, he's going to use his time wisely. He's always going to be meditating in that truth. He's never going to let go of the truth. It should be it should make you irritated and discouraged to not be able to bring out a class during the me. I'm like all week. Just, oh, why, Father? Why? Really angry about it. I'm real angry. But let's keep going. And they that understand among the people shall instruct many. So we're going to go out to the highways and the hedges, and we're going to preach to the wind. And they shall fall by the sword, and by flame, by captivity, and by spoil many days. So it's beautiful. That is so beautiful. So literally, when we go out there, what do you guys do? You ignore us, you smirk, you make rude comments. You, in other countries, they'll actually, they beat up the Christians in other countries, but you know, those people aren't teaching the truth either. They're teaching lies, because they don't come in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, and they teach you things like Christmas and Easter, Thanksgiving. So they deserve whatever they get. But they're not instructing anyone. But they are being killed, though. They're coming out there in the so-called name, but they're definitely falling by spoil many days. And that means being robbed. So throughout history, we have fallen by the sword. We have been burned. We've been put into slavery. We've been spoiled. We've been robbed many days. And it's still happening to us to this day. I mean, you can go online right now. I guarantee you, within the last 6 months, somebody's been hung from a tree. But it's always a brown person that they do that to. So let me get back into it. And they that understand among the people shall instruct me, yet they shall fall by the sword, and by flame, by captivity, and by spoil many days. And when they shall fall, they shall be holpen with a little help, but many shall cleave to them with flatteries. So, man, that's beautiful. He's saying that when you guys all fall by the sword and by the flame and you go into captivity, many of you are going to cleave to the flatteries, to any kind of any kind of bribery that they'll give you, because it's easier. It's easier. So, yes, they shall be holpen with a little help, but many shall cleave to them with flatteries. And what chapter and verse is that? Let us go back to our oppressors. It was greater for us then than we are now. What chapter and verse? Nope. I guess I'm not going to find it. Let us go back into Egypt. Our life was better then than we are now. There it is. That's not the one I want, but that one's really good too. Let's see. So, yep, there it is. I found it. Okay, Exodus 14 and 2. Because it says that, but many shall cleave to them with flatteries. So, this is Exodus 14 and 2. Is not this the word that we did tell thee in Egypt, saying, let us alone, that we may serve the Egyptians? For it had been better for us to serve the Egyptians than that we should die in the wilderness. So that just once again, there's no faith. That's why they're cleaving to the flatteries, to the bribery. We had it way better in Egypt. Man, they were rape, robbing, and murdering us in Egypt. And we were slaves there, just like here. There's nothing new under the sun. We were getting low, barely enough to live off of wages. And we were made to work, I think, 7 days a week. And people thought that was better than freedom. It just shows that your mind is in the wrong place. And on top of that, you have somewhat of a Stockholm syndrome. Your vibration for Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is really low. In other words, you don't have faith. You would rather be treated with oppression than, and it's almost understandable when you think about it with the ones that are going to cleave to the flatteries, because we've been so long without our Creator protecting us that a lot of you think that He's never, that they've brainwashed you into thinking that He was never going to protect us in the first place, because you got that slave Bible that you go by that shows us going into slavery but never coming out. But anyway, you're gonna think that it's better here in spiritual Egypt. You're going to be destroyed. And some of them of understanding shall fall, to try them, and to purge, and to make them white, even to the time of the end, because it is yet for a time appointed. So some of them understanding shall fall. So some of the people that have understanding is to try them, to purge them, and to make them white. Do you understand what that means? So gold is tried in the fire, right? That's Sirach 2 and 5. An acceptable man in the furnace of adversity. When you refine gold, or when you're trying gold, you're setting it on fire. You're making it into a molten lava. You're boiling it, pretty much. You're boiling the metal. And what you're doing while you're boiling it is you're burning off all the impurities. So if you wanted to put that into back into the scripture, it would say you're burning off all of the sin, that sinful behavior. So the Most High is taking certain men and purging them. He's turning them into pure gold. He's removing all the impurities out of their system. And that's going to make them white. Now, I've already told you, the word white means righteous. So he's going to make them righteous, even to the end time of the end. That's beautiful, because it is yet for an appointed time. So he's purging us right now. He's making us righteous. He's setting us apart from the rest of the people. That's a beautiful thing, because our oppressor has, his transgression has come to a full. We've got wars, we've got rumors of wars, we've got earthquakes in diverse places. I mean, everything's happening at once. Let's move around some more. Let's stay in Daniel 11. Let's jump up to verse 45. I want to start. I want to read it from. I'm going to start. I want to jump forward. There it is. I want to start at verse 40. So we're going to stay in Daniel chapter 11. We're just going to jump up to verse 40 and stay at this end time, okay? And at the end time of the end shall the king of the south push at him, and the king of the north shall come against him like a whirlwind, with chariots, and with horsemen, and with many ships. And he shall enter into the countries, and shall overflow and pass over. So he's just going to flow right through the countries with destruction. He shall enter also into the glorious land, and many countries shall be overthrown, but these shall escape out of his hand. Indeed, Edom and Moab and the chief of the children of Ammon. He shall stretch forth his hand upon the countries, and the land of Egypt shall not escape. So we are that land. We're not going to escape. That's dead serious. We are not going to escape from this judgment. So your only hope, all you can do at this point is have faith in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, come back to the laws, the statutes, the direct commands to the best of your ability, according to your knowledge. That way you have a chance. Other than that, you're doomed. So, like I said, he shall stretch forth his hand also upon the countries, and the land of Egypt shall not escape. But he shall have power over the treasures of gold and silver, and over all the precious things of Egypt. And the Libyans and the Ethiopians shall be at his steps. But tidings out of the east and out of the north shall trouble him. Therefore he shall go forth with great fury to destroy, and to utterly make away many. That's beautiful. So this fight is getting ready to start. People are gathering up. Everybody's getting in position. People are being troubled or vexed. They're angry. They want results. So let's keep going. But the tidings out of the east and out of the north shall trouble him. Therefore he shall go forth with great fury to destroy, and to utterly make away many. And he shall plant the tabernacles of his palace between the seas in the glorious holy mountain. Yet he shall come to his end, and none shall help him. So, it's very easy. Yahweh makes a lot. You know what? Let me get it. So he's going to destroy him. So he's building him up for his destruction right now. But these guys think that their power, I already told you, his power was not by his own power. So let's get that. He had great power, but not by his own. So Deuteronomy 32 and 39 says, "See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. I kill, I make alive, I wound, I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand." So, now let's go back to it. Because, going back to Daniel chapter, so we know, because he said he has power to do all these things, but not by his own. And then he was building him up for his destruction. He got troubled. He's pulling together his great army. And he's troubled. He's there. He's going to pull together his army to go forth with great fury to destroy and utterly make away many. And he shall plant the tabernacles of his palace between the seas in the glorious holy mountain. Here's the point. Yet he shall come to his end, and none shall help him. So I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. But on this occasion, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai is going to kill, and it's not him, it's a whole nation. They're all going to be destroyed. Let's jump around some more. Let's go over to the book of Psalms. And we're going to go to chapter 2. I'm sorry, chapter, I was like, that's not chapter 2, it's chapter 21. Psalms chapter 21. And we're going to go to verse 11 and just go to the point. "For they intended evil against thee. They imagined a mischievous device." Remember, which they are not able to perform. So I just told you that he was going to do all this stuff, but he was going to be destroyed, and no one's going to help him. And now, what's this mischievous device? They imagine a mischievous device which they are not able to perform. The MOTB. They're not going to put that in us. They're not going to be able to accomplish that. All you 2/3 and you other nations, they'll be able to accomplish it on you, but they ain't going to be able to do that to us. That's why they're not able to perform it. If it was anywise possible, they would deceive the very elect, but they're not going to be able to do that. So let me keep reading. Let me read it again. For they intend evil against thee, they imagine mischievous device, which they are not able to perform. And that, let me keep going. Therefore shalt thou make them turn their back, when thou shalt make ready thine arrows upon thy string against the face of them. Be thou exalted, Yahweh, in thine own strength, so will we sing and praise thy power. So our strength and everything about us is through Yahweh. These guys imagine to do all these crazy things to us, but they're not going to be able to perform it. And that goes into their time's up. They've already done everything to us. I mean, they have done every possible evil, wicked thing ever to the Israelites. There is nothing left to do. So the ones that are smart, the Israelites that are smart, are going to wake up out of the sleep. And they're going to exalt Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, knowing that that's our strength. That's what we have faith in. That's who's going to save us. And we will sing, and will we sing, praise thy power. We're going to sing and we're going to praise the power of Yahweh. Why? Because he's going to save us. And the reason about this whole class in the first place is because this is getting ready to happen now. We're getting so close. How is it? Our salvation was nearer than we first anticipated. It's much closer to the time of our salvation than we first thought. We thought, most people say, it's not in our lifetime, this, that, and the third. But in that place where they said that you were not Israel's, where I'm going to tell you that you are truly the children of the living God, that happened. Now everybody's in an uproar. So all these prophecies are just popping off faster and faster. I keep telling you that. Let's go to Psalms chapter 37 and 7. Rest in Yahweh and wait patiently for him. Wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his ways, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Don't worry about this guy that's doing all this crazy wickedness. And that's a nation of people. And then all of the other nations are drunk from the wine of their fornication. So in other words, there's a wicked nation of people out here doing wicked stuff, and the other nations are just falling into suit. So it says, rest in Yahweh, wait patiently for him. And that literally, I just got to get it, because that's going directly into Sirach. Again, Sirach chapter 2, KJV. Don't 1611 me, please. Let's go to, I said Sirach chapter 2, and that is not, that says Luke. Sirach chapter 2, KJV. These guys with their bullshit. Always. Let's get it. So Sirach chapter 2, KJV. So Corinthians, what in the hell's going on here? All right, Sirach chapter 2, KJV. I cannot believe this. So let me just read this again real quick. Sorry about that, guys. Rest in the Lord. Wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his ways, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. So what it says, now listen to this. I'm just going to read right through this because I've brought this scripture so many times that you guys should know it by heart. But I'm going to start from the top. Sirach chapter 2, or also known as Ecclesiasticus. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright, and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him, depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. Here we go. Here's the point. Be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. Ye that fear Yahweh, wait for his mercy, and go not aside unless you fall. So, rest in Yahweh, and wait patiently for him, and fret not thyself because of him that prospereth in his ways. So, don't worry about this oppressor, because he's making all these wicked devices to try and take us out. And if you want to, I mean, the water's poisonous, the air's poisonous, the food is poisonous. Damn, fruits and vegetables, they made those poisonous. We got microplastics in the air, the water, the soil. You got the roots of plants and trees sucking plastic into the tree. So not only are we getting all these microplastics, the ocean's getting them, the sky's getting them, the animals, the fruits, the vegetables, everybody. So that's one of their wicked devices. Another one, the MOTB. Why do they need to, and I understand why they're doing it. What do you do with cattle? You mark your property, and that way you're able to keep tabs on it. So they want to keep tabs on how many breaths of air you take a day. They might start taxing on that. Well, they're using up too much oxygen. And look at they're going way over the carbon fingerprint than they should. And all these other people are doing this. And look at you, 27 extra breaths a day? I don't think so. So you see what I'm saying? They make all these wicked and evil devices, but it says, don't worry about that, because they're not going to be able to accomplish these things. They are not going to be able to accomplish these things. And it says, though, but he's prospering in his ways. Is he? Or is he being built up for destruction? I kill, I make alive, I wound, I heal. I am building you up to destroy you. He's doing that. He's building up the other nations and the most wicked nation, Edom, to destroy them. That's what this whole class is about. The build up before the destruction. Let's go to Psalms 140. I like that. The build-up before the destruction. So all we're doing right now is mentioning all of the crimes that that he's committed against humanity. So you're guilty of all these crimes that you've committed. Let's go over to, like I said, Psalms chapter 140, and we're going to go down to the point. It's in verse 8. This is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Let me start at verse 7. O Yahweh, the Lord, the strength of my salvation. Thou hast covered my head in the day of battle. In other words, he put him in a space where he was protected. Now let's get verse 8. Grant not, O Yahweh, the desires of the wicked. Further, not his wicked devices, lest they exalt themselves. Salah. Pause. So he's saying, don't let them prosper anymore in their wickedness. And further, not his wicked device, lest they exalt themselves. So if they're able to accomplish what they're trying to do, they're going to take us all out. Their wicked devices are designed to either tag us or take us out, and that's all there is to it. I mean, and yeah, I think I have to read one more. I must. For as the head of those that compass me about, as the head of those, the rulers, the leaders, let the mischief of their own lips cover them. So be trapped up in your own, fall upon your own tongue. Be trapped up in your own speech. All the things that you're saying to do to us, let them happen to them. Let it happen to you. Let's move around some more. I got a couple more verses and I'm going to shut it down. 1 Corinthians. I can't remember what this is for. And let's go to it. The point. I want to start at I got to start from the top. Let a man so account of us. Let a man so account of us as of the ministries of Yahushua and stewards of the ministries of Yahweh. Moreover, it is required in stewards that a man be found faithful. So all of the prophets got to be faithful. But with me, it is very small. It is a very small thing that I should be judged of you or of man's judgment. Yea, I judge not my own self. So he's saying it's not really a big deal that you guys try to judge me for the truth. For I know nothing by myself. That's beautiful. Yet am I not hereby justified? But he that judgeth me is Yahweh. So his judge is Yahweh. He's saying all this man's judgment with their carnal mindset, it's not a big deal. The one that judges him and how he's justified is by the judgment of Yahweh. Therefore, judging nothing before the time until Yahweh come. Ooh, that's why you guys think that your kingdoms will continue forever, because he has not judged you yet. You guys aren't part of the covenant. If you were, you would have been getting judged all this time, and you got to start to figure that out, especially after Putin said, oh, you know, Jesus is black. Jesus. Yahushua is a melanated man, and so are all the prophets. And all of the biblical prophets, everybody in the Bible, they were all melanated. That's why everybody's so mad right now. Oh, color doesn't matter. Why the fuck you paint everything white then? Straight up. Let me keep going. Therefore, judge nothing before the time, until Yahweh come, who both will bring to light the hidden things of darkness and will make manifest the counsels of the heart. And then shall every man have praise of Yahweh. That's beautiful. So, their judgment hasn't come yet, but it's coming. And he's lifting the veil right now. He's bringing all that darkness to light. So the judgment's, it's actually here, but it's just starting. And it's like when you have a leaky faucet. It goes one drip at a time to the point where you don't even notice it. And then if you were to put a cup there, over a period of time, each one of those drips will fill up. So let's just say that this is the beginning of Jacob's trouble. We got a drip, drip, drip. And it just keeps building and building and building and getting bigger and bigger. And the cup keeps filling up. Well, what is that? And the cup is filling up with what's going to happen during Jacob's trouble. And then before you know it, that cup's going to be overflowing. But the drip was so subtle, you didn't even know that it started until it was too late. And now we're at the end, and and I'm just wondering, are you thinking that you're going to really be able to repent in that last 30 seconds, that last hour, that last half hour? You're really going to be able to just be like, oh, I repent. You're going to learn the Bible, and you're going to do all these different things in the last half hour? Nah. It took me a year to read the Bible from front to back the first time. The whole thing. A year. So your last hour, you're doomed. You can't have faith in Yahweh, but spend your whole life doing carnal, worldly activities. you can't say that you have faith at the end. So let me read it again. Judge nothing before the time until Yahweh come. That's beautiful. Until Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. But the point right there is, you guys haven't been judged yet. And your time is coming. And with this veil being lifted, you're not the only ones that see it. We also see it coming. We already saw it, but now you guys are finally starting to see it, is what I mean. 2 more verses and I'm going to let this go. So let's go over to Psalms. Let's stay in the book of Psalms. Let's go back to the book of Psalms, is what I'm saying. And we're going to go to chapter 5. And we're going to start at verse 9. And for you know what? Let me start at 8. Lead me, O Yahweh, in thy righteousness because of mine enemies. Make thy way straight before my face. For there is no faithfulness in their mouth. Their inward part is very wickedness. They're wicked to the core. Their throat is an open sepulchre. They flatter with their tongues. And what does that mean? What are they? They're going to bribe you and end up doing wickedness. So, destroy thou them, O Yahweh. Let them fall by their own counsels. Ooh, I love it, love it, love it. So let's get the word counsel and find out. What's the biblical definition of counsel? Advice, especially that given formally. That of consultation and deliberation among those united. Okay, so their throats are open. They flatter with their tongue. Destroy them, O Yahweh. Let them fall by their own advice, by their own advice, especially their own formally given advice. So so that goes back into Daniel 8:25. Through their policy, they cause craft to prosper. So it says, let them fall by their own counsels. So through his policy, he's going to cause craft to prosper. And we're saying, let them fall by their own policies. Let their craft that's prospering prosper against them. Let them fall upon their own tongues. So cast them out in the multitude of their transgressions, for they have rebelled against thee. They have. They're all the way to the core already wicked if you're going against Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. And when Putin shows you what he really looks like, or a depiction of what he looked like way before iconoclasm, which is replacement theology, why aren't you guys cleaving to that? Why aren't you cleaving to that? They have rebelled against thee. That's why, because you hate the truth. But anyway, I got one more verse and then I'm going to close. I'm closing out with this. Revelation chapter 17. Most High willing, this lesson, this exhortation, this encouragement was edifying. You were able to get something out of it. And this is, I'm going to close out with Revelation 17:4. 17:4. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet, and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having the golden cup of her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. So this is Babylon the Great. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. He was in admiration. So watch this. What is the biblical definition of admiration? To express wonder that includes approval or high esteem. You see that? An object of wonder, pleasure, or approval. So he's like, wow! What he just showed him, it was so beautiful. When he saw how Babylon looked, it was like, wow, wow. He's like, wow, I've never seen nothing like that before. And the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel? What the fuck you doing, man? This place is hell. I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her, which hath 7 heads and 10 horns. So that woman is the nation that's going to be destroyed. That woman is Babylon the Great, secret Babylon. We also call it bitter or America. Now, America is getting all these final warnings. America has the wicked policies that they, through his policies, he shall cause crass to prosper. All of the other countries, they're just following what America's doing. Now, they're drunk from the wine of her fornication. So what are they doing? They're trying to outdo the wickedness of America. It's a beautiful thing because the harmony of the truth is coming out. And what's going to happen is that the only thing, they can't do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. So the more that they try to do, the more wickedness, all they're doing is actually fulfilling the prophecies faster. The harder you try, the faster the prophecies get fulfilled. And with that being said, if you got eyes to see, if you got ears to hear, man, I do have that one last verse. I hope you truly were able to get something out of this message. Revelation 22 and 12. Behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according to his work shall be. Their works, they've already done all the works. They've already done it all. So now it's time for the reward. So everybody, be patient. Hasten not in time of trouble. Remember that you are the gold and you're being refined right now to be pure so you can be in the presence of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. And with that being said, Shalom.